And as we see this stock rise, keep in mind that the company today is facing a major test to its Metaverse strategy. U.S. antitrust enforcers want to stop it from buying the virtual reality startup Within. Now, the FTC is arguing that Meta's plan will give it a leg up in dominating the EV market. So let's dive more into this with Alex Barinka, is at the hearing in San Jose, and she joins us now. Alex, how important is Within to Meta?
It is pretty important. This is a company that every time it wants to expand into a new industry, it makes an acquisition. Think about Instagram, think about WhatsApp. So for Meta, this is a new push for them, but this seems to be a really important one. We've already seen the company feature Within at its product conferences this year. And for all intents and purposes, Alex, they hope that at the end of this 8-day hearing, they walk away with this company.
If it doesn't go through with it, or if it can't go through with it, is there like a plan B here, or does Meta need to rethink stuff?
They have talked, and we've seen in the court filings that internally there were some discussions about building something like this, but that was scrapped when they decided to acquire Within. That's actually a key point of the FTC's argument as they've sued Meta to try to block this deal that Meta could have built instead of buying, and that's why the FTC views this as anti-competitive for the future of the virtual reality fitness market. So they are kind of adding to this VR portfolio. Within is in fitness, and you can probably expect them to look across to gaming, to marketplaces, and to kind of business tools as well.
Here's a weird question. Do shareholders want this deal to go through?
Well, Mark, for sure, the CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, wants this deal to go through. He's driving the company at this virtual reality future, and it's something that shareholders have had some questions about. So for Meta, proving that VR is a thing that can make money for the company and is this next kind of era of computing like Mark Zuckerberg thinks, you would think that investors who have stuck around and who are game for this VR future would like to see them building out this portfolio and finding things that consumers will pay for in the virtual reality world.
Right, and sort of asking for patience, like that's going to all take some time. Let's focus a little bit to the FTC part of this. Do they have a leg to stand on in this case? Because there's a lot of unusual aspects to the FTC going after this.
It's super unusual and it's super interesting. They're making an argument that they don't use very often, saying that this deal is not necessarily anti-competitive right this second, but it will tamp down competition in the future of a really new industry, VR fitness. So experts will say this is an argument that hasn't been made in a while. You have to look back to pre-1970s when the government really got involved, talking about the future of markets. So if this does go their way, if the judge grants them the injunction to block this deal and Meta walks away from this transaction, that could be pretty precedent-setting, or at least message-setting for the FTC, whose chairwoman has been very blunt about looking to rein in the power of big tech companies here in Silicon Valley.